Hello everybody, it's me, GhostCritic, and I'm here this time with a comic book haul. I haven't done one of these for a while, despite the fact that over the last couple of weeks I have been delving into my local comic book store's long boxes because the manager there, the owner, can't stop buying these huge collections of people. And at first glance, a lot of the stuff in there may seem inconsequential and nothing of great importance. If you're looking for like really rare comics or stuff that goes back, you know, to the Silver Age, or the Bronze Age, or even like the Golden Age or something like that, or it's not really full of key issues. But there is masses of stuff there at incredibly cheap prices if you can get him to do a deal for you. And I get to fill in not only lots of gaps in collections that I'm trying to complete, but I also get to pick up long runs of comics that I never had the chance to buy when they first came out, and some of them are like my favourite characters, my favourite comic books. They've got some of my favourite writers, artists, just they run the gamut, and here I am to show you them. It's about 20 minutes long, so I hope I don't keep you too long, and I hope you enjoy what I'm going to put up and show for you. And let's just get on with it. Okay, let us crack on with this big comic book haul. I've kind of split it into parts, which will become self-evident as I go along. The first small part is kind of like the odds and ends that I've been picking up, the little bits that I thought were interesting or I really would have liked to read. Kicking off with a Hellboy 3-part mini-series. As you can hopefully see just at the bottom there, it's art by Richard Corbin. So what am I going to do? I'm going to buy it. It's The Crooked Man, Mike Mignola writing and Richard Corbin on art. Interiors. Issue number 2. And issue number 3. I have already read this, and it was a fun little kind of supernatural witches in the outback woods, secluded churches, and Hellboy mixed up in the middle of it. Great stuff, really great art by Richard Corbin. Also from Dark Horse, we've got Francesco Francovilla's The Black Beetle. He did a 4-part mini-series, 5 if you include this 0 issue, called, I guess it's Night Shift, a mystery novelette starring the Black Beetle. So this is issue 0. Issue number 1. Love Francesco Francovilla's art. He does a lot more of the kind of covers for a lot of the indie books lately, not so much putting out full interior art. So it's nice not only to get Francesco Francovilla's covers, but also interior art as well. Issue 2. Issue number 3. And unfortunately I couldn't find issue 4, so I'll be looking on the lookout for that. A couple I should say, issues filling in my Bendis and Oeming's run of Powers. This is the first volume, if I remember right, issue number 25 and issue number 31. And then there was this wonderful beast, the Punisher Warzone, in all its, is it 90s? Yes, early 90s glory, with a little kind of die-cast cover there. Hopefully you can see there's like a little hole in there revealing, yes, the famous Punisher skull. And also issue number 2. And keeping with the Punisher, the Max series by Garth Ennis called Born, issue number 1, which again was a great story, very Garth Ennis for those of you who are fans of his. So those were like the odds and ends I had. Then one of my very favourite Marvel Comics. It is, of course, Fantastic Four. Trying to collect basically everything. And there have been a lot of kind of mini maxi series for Fantastic Four. I've got to get my fix somewhere, given that we don't have a Fantastic Four on our Marvel roster at the moment. So this is issue 587 of 3, and that's the conclusion with Hickman. Finally managed to finish off my Marvel Knights run, just called 4. This was them being a little bit more adult in storyline. So issue 22, issue number 29, and the final issue number 30. So that's finished that run off. So I'm very pleased to have found those 3. Then Matt Fraction and the Allreds FF, which is when our normal Fantastic Four went off for space adventures and for Reed to find out how all his powers and his teammates' powers were degrading, deteriorating. So we had this great group of replacements with Ant-Man, She-Hulk, She-Thing, Medusa from the Inhumans, and obviously all the kids, and Dragon Man as well. So we've got issue number 5, issue number 7. As you can imagine from the Allreds, if you're reading Silver Surfer with Dan Slott at the moment, it's very kind of kooky, off-centre art. It's very kind of cool and hip. Issue number 9, and they're just fun stories with all the kids, but still there is that kind of element of danger to it all. Hickman's run on FF, the Future Foundation, again primarily about the kids in the Fantastic Four universe. That's issue number 22. Then on to Fraction's run on Fantastic Four. I think this is about, was it 2013? Somewhere around that, about 4 or 5 years ago. Fantastic Four. So this is Fraction with Bagley on art. So issue number 7. Number 8. Number 9. Number 11. Number 12. Number 13. Number 15, some great Doom action going on there. The best Marvel supervillains ever. And the final issue of that run, issue number 16. So that was all the Fantastic Fours. So what was that huge pile that contained just the one character, I wonder? Well, it was my main Dark Horse man, my man of warrior status. It was, of course, Conan. I have a lot of these, and not just from Dark Horse, so hold on there. There were a lot of mini-series from Dark Horse featuring Conan. Some of these fill in gaps, some of them I'd never even seen before, some of them are just purely one-shots, and that's what basically these are. So we've got Conan and the People of the Black Circle with Fred Van Lente and Ariella Vetti. And it just sometimes I wonder what it is about Conan that I love so much, and then I just remember it really does remind me of like my childhood and how much I loved this genre of fiction in any shape, whether it was movies, TVs, comic books. They just transported me into a world that I wanted to be part of, despite the fact that I probably would have just died immediately and I would never have been as heroic or as manly as Conan. I believe The People and the People of the Black Circle is a 4-issue mini-series. I'm going to have to look for issue number 4. This is Conan and the Jewels of Gwalur. I have issue 2 and 3. I finally managed to find issue 1, written by P. Craig Russell. Conan and the Book of Thoth, Kurt Busiek, Len Wein and Kelly Jones. I have the first 2 issues of this 4-issue series. So that's issue number 3 and issue number 4 finishing off that. This was a bit more of a longer series, Road of Kings. Not that much longer, but I managed to find issue 1 to add to the rest of them so far. A one-shot from Jimmy Palmiotti. It's Conan and the Daughters of Medora. I mean, all these covers are just fantastic. Conan 5-issue miniseries and The Midnight God, written by Joshua Dysart, with Will Conrad, Juan Ferreira and Richard Starkings. Issue number 2, number 3, number 4 and number 5. That is one I'm definitely looking forward to. It looks a lot darker than a lot of the other Conan miniseries, or in fact the maxi series as well. So there are probably 3 main series within Conan at Dark Horse. One of them is Conan the Barbarian, and fortunate enough to find quite a stack of these in my comic book store's recent collection that they've garnered. This is issue number 6. Conan the Barbarian was very much, funnily enough, almost a romance comic, and featured one of, well, his many loves, but definitely a strong one for Conan, and that was this young lady Belit, or Beli, a pirate captain who he falls in love, and they have many adventures throughout Brian Wood's series. Issue 10, part 1 of The Death. Declan Shavely. That's the great thing about these kind of books. So many different artists work on these books, and they just give them their own feel, but still keeping, you know, Conan looking like Conan, if that makes much sense. Issue number 14, some colours on there by Dave Stewart. He's a firm favourite over at Conan. Issue number 13. Issue number 15, issue 18, 19, 20, and finally for Conan the Barbarian, issue 23. The other big series that lasted, I think it probably lasted the longest, at least so far, was the one that Kurt Busiek started, which was just called Conan. A lot of the earlier stories mixed in a lot of his tales from his youth, as you can see from here. Issue number 15, 17, issue number 20, Tower of the Elephant, issue 24, issue number 28, 31, written by Mike Mignola, issue 32, issue 43, 44, 45. I think this was a 50-issue maxi series, well, a huge ongoing series, and Busiek came back basically to, I think, finish it off. No, he didn't. Truman got in there as well. Issue 47, issue 48. Issue 49, and finally a 64-page ending of number 50. Fantastic stuff there. So that was another series of Conan. Conan wasn't always a dark horse. They have been seen elsewhere, and this is where the last part of my haul comes from, our Conan special, and it was of course at Marvel. Managed to pick up these nice cheap price, and I'm just gonna have some Marvel fun with these. Conan the Adventurer, issue number 1. Don't think you can quite see under this light, but it's a shiny cover, an embossed cover. Here we are with issue number 2, issue number 3. I know the Dark Horse tried to keep it very close to the works of Robert E. Howard. How close they did at Marvel, I don't know. That's something I'm going to have to look into. Or did they just kind of make up their own tales of Conan? Issue number 4, 5, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then we move on to some more modernish. I think they were, what year did those Conan the Adventurers come out in? So we're talking mid-90s. This is probably later 90s, if not early 2000s. I didn't realise they did so many of these, because they're almost like mini-series. I believe I already got Conan the Barbarian issue 1 not so long ago, actually. So issue 2 and issue number 3. Then we have Conan the Barbarian, River of Blood, 3 issue, I guess, mini-series. So issue 1, issue 2, issue 3. Then another 3-parter, Conan the Barbarian, Return of Sturm. 1, 2, 3. Then another 3-parter, Conan the Barbarian, Lord of the Spiders, issue number 1, number 2. Even these covers, they're really fun. Issue number 3. Obviously a very different style to what Dark Horse were doing, but still, you know, keep with the essence of, you know, a big Conan warrior barbarian. Issue 1 of The Usurper, Conan the Barbarian. Number 2. And finally, issue number 3. There were more in those boxes. I didn't want to spend too much because I didn't first know how much he was going to charge me for these, so I kind of took it easy to begin with, but given he gave me them at such a cheap price, I'm probably going to go back and get the rest. So look out for more hauls of the Conan variety coming very soon. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.